There's a famous saying often linked to Nathan Rothschild: "The man who controls Britain's money supply controls the British Empire, and I control the British money supply." Whether he said those exact words or not, the sentiment holds true. The Rothschild family has spent centuries influencing global markets, shaping government policies, and deciding the fate of nations. Their impact is still felt in our modern world. At their peak, they were so powerful that world leaders hesitated to act without their support. And while many people know them as a wealthy banking family, most underestimate just how much they changed history. Nathan Rothschild realized early on that money was the true engine of the world. He believed that kings and politicians had far less power than they imagined. Nathan was just one of 5 brothers, each heading a branch of the family business in a major European city. Together, they did everything from funding the defeat of Napoleon to planting the seeds of the Industrial Revolution. Our story starts with Mayer Amschel Rothschild. Born in 1744, he grew up in the Jewish ghetto of Frankfurt, Germany, known as the Judengasse. Life there was incredibly difficult. The street was overcrowded, and Jewish residents faced harsh discrimination. They were often locked inside the ghetto at night and on holidays, and they were barred from many public spaces. Mayer was originally studying to be a rabbi, but his life changed forever when his parents died. Forced to support himself, he left his studies and became an apprentice at a banking house. This is where he learned the secrets of finance. He became an expert in rare coins, which were highly valued by the European elite. By the time he was 19, he returned to Frankfurt with a deep understanding of money. His talent caught the eye of Crown Prince Wilhelm of Hesse. The prince was so impressed that he made Mayer a court factor, a title given to a Jewish banker who managed a noble's finances. This was a massive breakthrough. It gave Mayer the political protection and the capital he needed to move his family out of the ghetto and into the center of European power. As Mayer's business grew, he developed a unique strategy. He sent his 5 sons to 5 different European power centers: London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt. He gave them 2 main rules: always do business with royal houses, and have as many sons as possible to keep the business in the family. This wasn't just about making more money. It was about managing risk. By spreading out across the continent, the family wasn't tied to the success or failure of just one country. If one economy crashed or one king turned against them, the other branches would survive. This created the first truly international bank. Because they worked with multiple governments at once, the Rothschilds held a position of neutrality that allowed them to influence international relations from behind the scenes. The Napoleonic Wars, 1792 to 1815, turned the Rothschilds from wealthy bankers into a global superpower. Wars are expensive, and the Rothschilds were happy to provide the loans. They funded both sides, ensuring they would profit no matter who won. In Paris, Jacob Rothschild funded Napoleon, while in London, Nathan Rothschild financed the British and their allies. However, as the war dragged on, Nathan realized a British victory would be more beneficial for the family's long-term interests. The family began to shift their support. Nathan's most famous move occurred during the Battle of Waterloo. He had built a private network of messengers that was faster than any government system. He learned of Napoleon's defeat a full day before the British government did. Legend says he used this information to play the stock market, buying up British government bonds while others panicked and sold. When the official news of the victory arrived, the bond prices skyrocketed, and Nathan made a fortune. Their success came with a cost. Because they had funded the enemies of Napoleon, who had actually granted more rights to Jewish people, some in France viewed the Rothschilds as traitors. This sparked a wave of anti-Jewish sentiment and criticism of global finance that would persist for decades. But the family didn't slow down. They moved their wealth into the future, investing in railways, coal, and iron. They essentially powered the Industrial Revolution in Europe. To protect their massive fortune, Mayer's will stated that only male heirs could inherit the business. This led to many marriages within the family to keep the money consolidated. They also kept their wealth in liquid assets like stocks and bonds rather than just land, making it nearly impossible for governments to seize their riches. By the mid-1800s, the Rothschilds were involved in almost every major global event. They secured a world monopoly on mercury, which was vital for refining gold and silver. They became major shareholders in companies like Rio Tinto, De Beers, and later Royal Dutch Shell. Their influence went beyond money. They were massive patrons of the arts and sciences, funding expeditions and building museums. They also acted as a safety net for nations. When the British government needed to buy the Suez Canal, the Rothschilds provided the millions of pounds needed on very short notice. They also funded Cecil Rhodes in Africa and provided the capital that helped John D. Rockefeller build his oil empire in America. There is even evidence that their influence helped lead to the creation of Israel. The 1917 Balfour Declaration, which expressed British support for a Jewish homeland, was addressed directly to Lord Walter Rothschild. No empire lasts forever. The 20th century brought challenges that even the Rothschilds couldn't fully control. World wars, the rise of nationalism, and the seizure of assets by the Nazis led to the closure of many family branches. The Naples branch closed in 1863, and the Frankfurt branch followed in 1901. During World War II, the Vienna branch was destroyed, and their French assets were later nationalized by the government in the 1980s. However, the family is far from gone. In 2008, they reorganized their remaining businesses under a single umbrella. Today, they are still major players in global finance, real estate, and even the wine industry. Their combined wealth is estimated to be around $1.2 trillion. The story of the Rothschilds is a testament to how much one family can change the world. If Mayer Amschel's parents hadn't died, he might have lived a quiet life as a rabbi. Instead, he built a dynasty that financed empires and built the infrastructure of the modern world. Whether you view their influence as a positive or negative force, history would look very different without them.